and sports in general. The Final Word with your hosts, Joe, Dre, John, Chris, and Dave. And now, without further ado, presenting the Final Word.
And TJ.
Special guest.
We got a special guest, Mr. Big TJ Daniels. Yep, joining us today. So we got a lot to talk about. We got a jam-packed show. Dave Lamar has some guests coming on to join us today. Are your guests ready, or do we need them?
We got one that's ready. We can go, Joel.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Hello?
Coach Joe,
Yes, sir. How you doing?
you're live.
You should have had that thing that you hit the button.
So who's Coach Joe?
So we got Coach Joel from the Bloomingdale Bulls ladies 6A state champion on the phone. How's that sound, Coach?
I was just going to say that sounds great.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys having me on.
So they'll ask a couple questions, but I got a couple rapid-fire ones.
Oh, let's go.
The first one is, I know a coach you talk to often. You consider him one of your best friends. How does it feel that you've won a state championship?
Oh boy.
And your friend, Coach Joel Willis, who watches a ton of video for you, hasn't got it?
Yes.
That's the first question.
Oh my gosh. I think about that a lot. To be, serious. I've told a lot of people that in the last couple of days, where how fortunate I am, how lucky I have been to have been able to coach, these teams, and there's guys like Joe that are, better coaches than I am, and I work with one too, Coach Modge at Bloomingdale, and both those guys helped me out tremendously during this run, and it's hard. I get it. It's so hard to get to that point. I don't take it for granted. That's my serious answer.
I was hoping for your less serious answer, but that was.
I can't do that to my guy. I can't.
Can't do it. You're good. So you've been at Bloomingdale. Correct me. Is this your 14th? How many years have you been there?
That's correct. 14th year.
Yeah. 14th year. 3 trips to Lakeland. How many times have you been to Lakeland for the Final Four?
Yeah, 3 out of the last 4 years. If you can believe that.
It's pretty impressive.
It kind of goes hand in hand with the kids that I've coached for the last 4 years, to be honest. So, it's been quite a run. We're I think 106-15 in that stretch.
Damn, I see you, Coach. Go ahead, man. Stop bragging, man. Stop playing.
No, I should say those kids are 106-15.
No, Coach, you talk your hey, we can curse on here. You talk your shit, Coach.
You sound like my wife. She's like, when are you going to, start giving yourself some credit?
Hey, Coach, this is Chris Ward. Man,
Hey, Chris.
I saw you. I saw your team play last year. I was at the game when you played Plant at your place. Your big man, she was amazing. Like, she was so fun to watch. Soft hands. She ran the floor. Like, she did everything. I really enjoyed her. Tell me this. I didn't get a chance to see you guys play this year. Where did she take her game this year, based on where she was last year?
To be honest, she was. I'm not gonna say. She had a good year. I was hoping. I had expectations that it would. She would take it to the next level from the start. But I'll say this: during this playoff run, and especially this past week, she was outstanding. Outstanding Thursday and Saturday, and Saturday just really dominated inside, and in her desire and will to get to the top of the mountain, to take that next step. It was so obvious. Like Saturday, I was so proud of that kid. Yeah, she really went out with a bang. I'm so proud of that kid, and happy for her.
Is she getting any love?
Yeah, it's funny. I had a coach call me last night, Division II school in North Carolina, who was there Thursday and Saturday night, which is really cool. Like, you get to the biggest stage, and you're hoping there's people, you get more eyes on you, and she couldn't stop raving about Isella, and so yeah, that was, in the biggest moments, she stepped up, and she's getting the love. She is.
You just let her know. I saw her play the one time, and I was a fan, bro. So I think she is.
Yeah.
Whoever gets her is getting a really, they can steal.
Yeah, you mentioned like her hands and her feet. Like, you just can't teach that stuff. And like, she catches everything. She actually, if she's out in the open floor, like, she sees the floor really well and can make good. Yeah, she's kind of got it all. She can shoot the ball with her back to the basket. She's tough. Yeah, I don't like, life after her is going to be a little different for me.
How many seniors are you losing?
6.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, you want to, we talk a lot about men's basketball here at seniors. You had, if you want to just touch base, I think one is going to University of Tampa. Is that correct? And then, the young lady that trains with Chris, and then Jenny.
Yep.
Chris is with her a lot. You just want to touch base. The seniors, I think, should get their due. If you just want to touch base.
I would love to. Yeah, so Noelle and Z have been with us all 4 years. Like I said, Noelle's going to Tampa. School's all-time leading scorer. Such a, like, probably the hardest worker I've ever coached. She's there at 7 a.m. every day. I'm just so happy that she got to achieve this goal of hers. And she was just like Isella. She was going to do whatever it took. She's diving all over the floor Thursday and Saturday, and took a hard fall Thursday night, bumped her head, and, just really, again, like, put it on the line. And so those two kids, we talked about Isella, like, just great kids, had done so much for the program. So we had Khalees Salter come over from Tampa Tech, and if you saw the game or that were there Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, like, that kid, especially in the fourth quarter, along with Jatia Marks, another senior of ours, they guarded the heck out of Miami Southridge's couple of their kids. That their guards can go. Like, they had 4 guards that could just go, and these kids just stepped up and guarded the heck out of them, and like all the others, they weren't going to be denied. Savannah Ferguson has really become somebody that, just a fun kid to coach, who really high basketball IQ. She's going to Maine Maritime Academy next year. Khalees is committed to Davis and Elkins. Forgot to mention that. Jatia Marks has a decision to make. Talked about her. Jenny got to know her this year. Came over from Robinson, and she, man, that kid just lives and breathes basketball. And I've enjoyed getting to know her. She really came in and accepted, like, all these kids, it's different roles, even our kids who were returning, like, they had to get used to, different roles. And I think that's what helped us in the end, was, like, gelling at the right time, playing with each other, accepting roles, doing whatever it took. But yeah, Jenny's such an amazing kid, so much energy. And I know you guys know her, but that kid is something else. And I think she's gonna be playing next year. I'm gonna let her put that out there. I don't think that's public knowledge yet, but yeah, all those kids, those 6 kids are, tremendous workers, all of them, and I think that's, especially in the girls' side of it, that's pretty rare, that all these kids are there in the morning getting extra work in and want to stay late and putting the work in, and what a senior class. I went on for a while there.
I know it's good. So I would ask this too, because I know Jenny was a 1,000-point scorer. I don't know about the young lady from Tampa Bay Tech. When you have young ladies come in and they were the head of their team and now they have to fit in. How was that coaching it? Like, I don't know if you had that in the past, but to have 2 young ladies come over and they were ball dominant, demanded the ball, they were the leaders of their team. How do you have that gel into a situation that is already a good situation for you? Like, your team was already good. Like, so how do you just add that into it and have them playing well together?
That was the challenge. It was hard. This is the hardest year of my career, to be honest. And, Savannah was a 1,000-point scorer too. And, Khalees was really close. Jatia was really close. And so not only the kids that came in, but our returning kids, they had to get used to a different way of playing, and it was hard. It takes time. And like I said, I feel like during the playoff run, like it started to click. There were some rough patches, but it started to click. And ultimately, like, and they'll tell you now, like, man, just, getting to Lakeland and now the feeling they have, like, that it's hard to explain that to a kid in August, but, I think they understand it now, but it's hard. It's hard to get, kids to buy in and, but I enjoyed the challenge. It was a daily thing, having those conversations and talking about roles and et cetera. It was tough, but obviously it was well worth it now.
I'm just going to say this, you got the juice now.
It's been a whirlwind here the last 48 hours. It's been crazy.
Congratulations, Coach.
Congrats, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Proud of these kids and happy for them.
Congrats, Joel. I'll talk to you soon. Appreciate you coming on.
All right, Dave, thank you. All right, bye-bye.
So, who's the last girls that won it?
For Hillsborough County?
Yeah. That was 2 years ago?
No, Z was a freshman. Kendall, Nyla.
Is it Chelsea? What's the girl?
Kendall, Nyla, Z, and the girl that's at Southern Miss, Morgan Seaver. So
Actually, Santia hit me up and asked me about, I think I text somebody. He said, I know this girl. I was like,
three of those girls are all active D1 right now.
And they were playing Southern. They're in the same conference.
Great.
Playing.
Crazy part is, if it was a boys' team, we'd be ready to have a parade right now.
Right.
But,
And that's 2 and 3 years? That's what you said, right?
No, so Z was a freshman.
So 3 years ago.
So 2 championships in 3 years for Hillsborough County.
we
And
really,
they've been back and forth.
we really need somebody to cover the girls' side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good. She was, she was deceptive. She was a bigger girl. So I'm thinking, I would run the hell out of her, right? And she was running. She was getting up and down that floor, bro. I was like, whoa. So she remember the girls the twins that played at Oklahoma? Mm-hmm. That's how
The big girl?
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
Oh, soft hands, touch it,
good
footwork. Oh, she was fun to watch, bro. I sat there and watched the whole damn game usually.
Jenny called me before the game. She was like, you got any advice? Man, it's your last game. Man, leave it all on the court.
Yeah.
Leave it all on the court. But yeah, like he said, Jenny's good people's, man. And she wanted it bad, and she's a hard worker.
Very inquisitive.
Yep.
She gonna ask you 30 million questions.
Yep.
Go ahead with the big words.
Yeah.
So
Spell it.
we got our other guest, or we?
Utah from an
Who else won? Z was part of the state championship. I know she did it with another county, but
Yep.
she
And then
hit me up.
She
Sickles
went
and
to Haven.
Steinbrenner both were in the Final Four.
Yep.
Yeah, that's big time.
Girls basketball.
Yeah, that's good.
That's big.
Girls basketball got a pretty good class coming in next year from the 8th grade group, right? Well, we got a pretty good little group.
Well, then they have some.
But
young
yeah,
girls
we got
coming up.
3 7th graders on that team, so
Oh,
we still
okay,
gotta wait.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But they're gonna Jaden Watts. She had a really good year. A really good year.
We got a freshman coming up, KK.
Yeah, should be a freshman. Where's she going?
We don't know yet. She gonna be good though. Whoever gets her,
I told Tampa Preparatory, man, they need to grab her.
she gonna be real good.
That's
Yup.
God, man.
And her improvements, because she's only been playing for like 2 years, but her improvement in like a year was like off the charts.
Right.
You know what?
Because her dad was on my high school team.
Man, when she first came, she ain't want no parts of that.
And it wasn't just her skill set; it was her attitude.
Yes.
Her like she's grown up a lot. She's matured a lot.
She
And
wants
I
to
think
be
that
good.
has a lot to do with where she is her maturity. Because she is good.
Yeah.
She is good. Yeah, she's gonna be fun to watch.
All right, so let's bring up the Hillsborough County All-Star games, All-Star teams. Well, you gonna read them off, Stokely?
Stokely growing his hair out? And he always had hair like that.
John asked, "Are you growing your hair out?"
Oh, you always had hair like that. Nah, he did something different to it. Like the wife. You did something different today.
He put some. He got some mousse. He put it in.
Johnny Barbaro.
Hey, what's your boy name?
He did something to it.
I'm gonna leave the door. What's his name?
Oh,
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
They always had the Bruno, baby.
All right.
All right, what you got?
I'm not putting nothing on my head, man. Well, actually, a little bit of product. Just a little bit.
I know you got some product in there. There ain't no natural juices in there.
Boy, they ain't nothing but on spray.
Hey, so hold on. So everybody know, is this seniors?
All-Star game, seniors,
All right, who chose this?
coaches.
Okay. All right.
All right, so
Just want to see what's
Why
up.
you got something to say?
I ain't got shit. I ain't got
Make
nothing to do
sure
with the
you gotta
list.
ask who chose certain lists. So
We're gonna talk about
This
that.
was Hillsborough County Tampa Bay Boys Coaches Association that voted on this.
Gotcha.
all right, so we've got West All-Stars coached by Coach Fred Lewis out of Blake. We've got Josh Lewis out of Blake. Jay London Bivens, Tampa Prep. Derek Doe out of Slam Academy. Jace Humphreys out of Gaither High School. We have Colby Canizaro out of.
Damn, that was tough right there. I said Kanazara.
All right, and then we've got Jason Johnson out of the Blake Yellow Jackets one more time, and then of course we got Adam Lipscomb from Alonzo High. We've got Ian Kyler from Sickles. We've got Robert Parker out of Tampa Prep. And we've got Tashonda Madzivimbo out of Brooks, right? And
Say that again. That was so good. Say it. You ain't go to public.
He's Filipino, man.
Oh, my bad. No, he ain't go to public school.
hey, we got
He went to
rounding
East
out
Bay.
our All-Stars, West All-Stars, we've got Jordan Muckins out of Blake High School.
Oh, my God.
All right, now we've got our East All-Stars, coached by our PTO guy, Coach Andre Lewis. It's on PTO, y'all.
Oh, so they don't do this by
Hold on.
Starting
by
off
winning
with Gavin
numbers.
Tinsley.
Y'all got a typo on that, man. Nick Womack was Borton.
What they put?
Nick Womack?
Bloomingdale. He was started at Bloomingdale.
Okay.
Nick Womack's Borton. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
Wharton.
go ahead.
Okay.
Continue.
My apologies.
So this ain't.
We've got Nick Womack,
All-Star coaches,
out of Wharton High. We've got Ethan Moore from Newsom High. We've got Kedron Evans out of Bloomingdale. We've got Lyric Satine from Bell Creek. Cameron Crowe from Strawberry Crest. Wasn't Cameron Crowe? Am I thinking of the wrong movie, Con Air? Oh, that's Cameron Poe. Cameron Poe. Karsten
Sart-
Walker from Sumner.
Sarton has an R in it.
Yeah, it looked like Satan. But
Oh, it's Sarton.
apologize. We didn't promote
Man, I tell you.
Sartan.
Karsten Walker from Sumner High. We've got Peter Radigan from Freedom. Logan Teeden from Plant City.
That Teton boy.
We've got Logan Kanicki from Carrollwood Day. And rounding out our group from the east, we've got Morty Hanlon from Jesuit High School.
Morty from the source.
Morty. I remember taking pictures of this little kid there from way back when he was on your team.
Hey, check this out. So John had a question about the coaching. John, what was your question?
Well, you know how like you get to coach if you got the best record. I love my boy Dre though.
Dre coaches that team every year, man. That's what he do.
I'm
He's
messing with you.
he's a
You my dog.
he's a pillar. All right, so as you guys said, the coaches select this list, and some of the other top 25 rankings and all that stuff goes. But my man TJ, you've been very vocal about some of these rankings here, man. Talk to us, man. What are some of your opinions about rankings?
I think it should. The kids, no knock on none of the kids that got selected. So I just feel like it's a lot of cliquish. So I hate to say it like that, but it really set our kids up for failure. Because when you telling them they're good and you putting these lists out and you posting it and you know that the organizations go with it and all that, it's not right. And I think it should be a fight of who they play, the team they on. Now, if you playing like, as y'all say, the wheelchair league.
Not y'all.
Yeah, y'all do say that. I heard y'all. If I'm keeping 100, I think it was you, Chris. I wasn't joking.
Hey, like you did Saturday night, you ain't pointing no fingers.
I think it was you, Chris. But I just feel like certain kids that they get cheated out of it, just being honest. And it don't got nothing to do with my child, because I know that I got a couple of text messages and phones. Are you okay? I'm great.
But let's talk about your child. Put a highlight video up I put together. And keep going.
And I'm great, you know, because we don't, I tell T all the time, it's not on your time, it's not on my time, it's God time. But if I'm talking Hillsborough County, this is why we don't excel, I think, because we do too much clicky stuff like, oh, this kid ain't with my program, or this kid ain't with this coach. Why it got to be all that? Who the kid playing, who the team playing, and do they work hard? Because a lot of these kids, they don't work hard. And I think all that should play a factor because a lot of kids get overlooked. And like I said, a lot of kids get overlooked by the highlights. And if they cool with the cameraman. Like, it's so much going on, I feel like even bringing everybody to the table, and I know it'll never happen, but bringing everybody to the table and everybody put their cents in and fix it, but it'll never get fixed. I don't think that'll never.
So this list right here was voted on by the coaches.
Well, the seniors, I can understand that. But I think it also should be a list. It got to kind of get more better, because the seniors, I understand we do the seniors every year, but I feel there should be another list out there and just be like, okay, the best players, and have all put like, okay, these are categories why we put them as the best player. A strength of schedule, how many other seniors and talented players that's on the team, what this kid did by their work, and like certain games, like just say the game before we played Gibbs, we was down. TJ get in, it's a totally different game. And then now, and I hate it because it's TJ, but I'm just being honest. You go through all the guards he looked at and he faced, because you had to play defense. Let's just be 100.
Right. Before MJ got hurt, he was giving Sean the Brew trouble. I've never seen Sean uncomfortable, like handling the ball. This is a 5-star player at McDonald's All-American.
Big time. Yeah,
It's a
big
McDonald's
time.
All-American. And look, I'm a straight shooter. If I say something, I'll tell you I said it. JoJo told me the game plan. He said TJ gonna guard Sean. I said, man, Fred done lost his damn mind.
Shit, I lost my mind when I saw it.
But I tell you this, like he had him bottled up. He had just picked up his second
offensive
frustration foul and had to lead the game. And you know what I mean. And now they still had Colin. They still very good. Right. But that's a McDonald's All-American right there. So. Shout out to that, man. Like, TJ's a special player. I mean, they all got a lot to learn. They all make mistakes. They make their mistakes. But I mean, defensively, right here, that's Logan Teeden right there. That's a pretty damn good point guard. You know what I mean? That's a senior all-star point guard right there, and who's just as scrappy and But the proof is in the pudding. I mean, Blake played a really tough schedule. And when you look at the games, the same thing with Jordan Mickens. Like when you look at the games around here that they played, like the Plant game was tough, the Wharton game was tough, but outside of those, the games around here, they weren't really needed. But when we went on the road and we was playing against them dogs, TJ was he stood up. You know what I mean? So.
And then the Bloomingdale coach, he touched on it. So it's not no knock on Fred, right? Because a lot of people thought I was so frustrated with Fred. Now, at times, I was. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Not no knock on him, but I understand him. And the coach called it out first. It was the hardest season to coach.
Correct.
So, I give grace. It is what it is. But at the same time, it's just those kids, like those girls on the Bloomingdale team, how many of them didn't get talked about that 1,000-point scores? Right. Did a really good job, but you put this play up there, and
a few of them didn't get 1,000 because of who came over.
So I feel like put that list out there, but then put these players got to get some mentions through the situation they've been in.
Do you think that the rankings, the lists, because some lists are, coaches vote on it,
right?
All right. But coaches want their kids on these lists too. So I always tell kids that, lists don't matter just when you line them up. That's what's gonna matter. You can forever post a ranking. You can forever post an all-star. You can forever choose a kid to be, he's the best player. But when it's all said and done, and that joker is working at Publix,
right,
and the kid that they didn't talk about is playing like, you set him up for failure, like what you said. Because they ain't gonna be like, what happened? You was the man.
And that's why.
Damn, homie. You used to be the man, homie.
But that's what I hate, and that's why a lot of kids leave and go to college, and then they come back home. And that's where I'm trying to get at. You will push this cat 26 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, all this. And it's okay to push him, but let's be real.
Right.
We want him to stay. He ain't gonna stay if you've been feeding him. I'm gonna be mad at you as a coach. I remember one time when I was younger and I was playing, and Chris was like, "You gotta do this, you gotta do this." He told me the truth, and I still love him. I'm here. So y'all really setting the kids up for failure.
So the list, my biggest thing is how do these lists get you recruited?
Right.
Like what hands, what coaches' hands do? What eyes are on these lists, right? What college coaches are saying?
Chief said, "Hold that Publix talk down, man."
Chief over his stove.
Nah, Chief, you the head. I'm talking about the back.
So what eyes? Whose hands are these lists going to? And that's why I used to always say,
they don't mean
the kids. It's for social media. It's for likes.
But do you think any list is important?
No.
Okay. Why?
No. Here's the reason why. We just had this conversation.
Some are, depending on what it is.
Listen.
ESPN, 24/7, those types.
Even so, and I'll tell you, this came out of Paul Biancardi's mouth. I said, JoJo Fivon. I said, bring him to my camp. That's what he said.
Right.
And I said, I have to bring him to your camp. He's one of the top players, one of the top juniors in the nation. Look at all the. Well, let me put my eyes on him. Bring him to my camp. Well, you got Tony Bryant on your list. No disrespect, he is a really talented kid. JoJo Fallon is up in the space of Tony Bryant. They're in the same conversation. Well, Tony Bryant came to my camp.
But that's the problem I have. And people
No,
say
it
that.
had nothing to do with a relationship. Tony Bryant came to my camp.
But see that.
So if JoJo goes to his camp, that means JoJo gonna be on the list.
Right.
Basically,
No,
what he's
I'm saying,
But that ain't right.
Created that.
No, it's not right. That's what I said.
But no,
But
that's
that-
the relationship. That's what I'm saying.
But that,
You're right,
but that
Chris,
list
that's
holds
the
weight though,
relationship.
because he's ESPN. He's ESPN.
His
Right.
list is probably the most respected. If you ask anybody out there to list, they would say Paul Biancardi.
Correct.
But
Because
he-
once
said that.
once JoJo hit top 50, it changed things where he was, as far as like people calling, reaching out, agents, coach. You know what I mean? Like it does change things once you get to a certain point on those lists. So it does. So those lists do matter.
But that's why I asked you the question.
But I'm not gonna chase that
So,
list.
so what I'm asking is, we're talking about the list around here.
No,
The list around here don't mean nothing.
It don't
It's like an average.
Hands.
So you don't think the coaches list
We got a
hold
great person.
any value?
I'm going to ask him that
The
question.
county's coaches list.
He's ready. I'm going to ask him that.
That doesn't help a kid's resume?
Well, it don't hold no weight, but it keep things divided. That's my thing. It keep things divided.
Yeah. That don't hold no weight? That doesn't build a kid's resume when
what
they
ab-
go to college,
I
whatever?
wonder if the coaches list holds. I want to ask. I wonder if the coaches
Let's bring them on.
I'm a former coach at the high school level. Who was the player of the year from Plant City? What was the kid name?
He a bad boy now.
He is.
The white boy,
the shooter.
Simpson.
Matt Simpson. Yeah.
Yeah,
But he a bad. He even better now.
Yes, he is. but you asked me if the coaches looked.
So
if he was that dude and that list carried a lot of weight,
Right.
his recruiting piece should have been a lot higher.
It should have been. If he had a transfer portal,
I see what
think
you're
it would
saying.
have been.
Because once he got to Florida College, the first year, the second year, went through the roof.
But see, and that's why I asked you that question, because some people get mad at the list that the coaches chose. First of all coaches don't put kids down. Hold on. All kids don't put kids down. All coaches don't vote. Most people do it.
Then also, Tyreek Brascom averaged 27 and 9.
Right? He got beat out. He was second.
Did that list help him?
No.
He played at Hillsborough, right?
No, Tech.
No, Tyree. Oh, I'm thinking
Yeah.
about this.
But no, you're right. But then people think it makes valid point for you to be on that list. The issue I have with any list, if you hype up the wrong people, like what TJ's saying, and then it shines a negative light on the county.
Yeah, I mean,
That's-
like Joshua not getting Player of the Year for the
That's
county.
ridiculous,
It's 100%. I'm talking about for the county. I ain't talking about the other shit. But
Who got the
He got the county.
no, the kid from Newsom got it.
It
what?
was Newsom.
No. Josh got player of the
Or
year.
was it in different,
They do
different,
I'm talking about on that one.
No, they do different.
That
stuff.
Dre read that we read out on here.
Josh got that player of the
no,
year.
it's
Yeah,
different,
it's different. They go to
districts, a different.
No, they do this.
For the Tampa Bay Boys Coaches Association,
Yeah.
player of the year, that was everybody included. Josh Lewis was the player of the
Okay,
year.
okay. So what was
No,
the
I
one?
saw another
Ethan
list.
got FA for he got 6A player of the year, or 7A for his district.
Okay.
For his,
Josh got voted by the coaches of the best player of the year.
Overall.
Well, no,
And it should have.
what y'all seeing that, what y'all talking
That's
about
what it
is-
should have been.
It's high school, right? I'm not even just talking about high school. It's that list is bringing so much division because let's think about the 2026 class. If you put all the cats in Hillsborough, this not outside of Hillsborough County. You put all those players on Hillsborough County on the 2026 class. And I ain't just saying this. We'll go to Nike and it would be really good, which would bring more light on Tampa.
So you mean if you put them all on a travel team together?
Right.
But
But it's because this list and
when they was young, that's what I thought it was gonna be when we
Right.
first started. I thought that's what it would be by the time they got to high school.
And that's what I'm saying. The list
just-
with what y'all saying with
it's
the
just
high
too
school and with the organizations. So it's just like I'm talking about two different things, but it's all correlate with
No,
each
I
other.
agree. Now, if you look at the South Florida sweep that happened and in the state title, like they were all in unison with that. Like all of them, they support each other, this and that, other. Like we be around here. Like Gibbs losing the way they lost, which was a tragedy. It was unfortunate. But the way they lost, you didn't see nobody from Pinellas County laughing at that. Imagine if Blake would have lost like that. What would have been going on around here?
Shit, what it was when y'all lost in the to go to state.
To the number 22 team in the country. But I mean, it's just, so as long as
all of these lists,
it'll never.
We call that coochiness.
That'll never happen. Go ahead, call Mr.
Let's call Darn. Chris, you ready?
Me?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna curse, I promise.
You got some good questions.
No, I don't. I do.
Hey, what's going on?
Sorry, Coach. We went on a little tangent.
That's all right.
But first of all, 1, congratulations. 2, what in the world do you do a release show at 11 p.m. at night on a Sunday?
I don't know.
That was wild. But congrats, Coach. That's big time. I got John, Joe, T.J. Daniels, and Chris all in here. But
Okay.
I've been talking about the Sunshine State Conference since I watched it when Jax was in 2nd grade, and I've been pounding on how tough. If you get 4 teams from a conference to the full NCAA tournament, I think that speaks volumes on how good it is. And I actually talked to somebody today. They said they probably could have got 5. But congratulations, Coach. I'll let you talk for a sec.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I just think it shows how good our league is. I think our league's, one, if not the best Division II league in the country. And, there probably could have very easily been 1 or 2 other teams that could probably compete in the regional from our league, which I don't know how many leagues can really say that. But, just super excited for our guys. We had some ups and downs throughout the year, but we found a way to get hot at the right time, winning 6 in a row. And, I think that had a lot to do with us getting in. And I think our strength of our league had a lot to do with us getting in, having, Nova being so good and Lynn and Florida Southern being so highly ranked, I think really helped us when it came down to the, them making the decision for who was going to be the last team in. I got a little worried when Miles got upset in their conference tournament. That they might get 2 in, but I thought we deserved to be in ahead of them because of our strength of schedule. I know our record wasn't near as good, but if you took out the seven games against the top 3 teams in our league, we were 18-3. So they didn't have any teams in their league ranked in the top 100 in the country.
And I didn't do the proper introduction, so for our listeners, we got Coach Link Darner from University of Tampa on the line. I apologize. I should have did that. Chris.
You're right in the conversation.
I know, right? Not only is he the coach of UT, but he's the father of one of the baddest white boys I've ever seen.
Famous Tate.
I'm a fan of him, Coach.
I'm a fan of Famous Tate. I'm also a fan of his coach, Toby, as well. But his coach, Mike Bilcher, man.
Oh, Bilcher's a great guy.
Yeah, man. But he's an excellent man. He's an excellent coach, man.
Yes.
You had your son in great hands, man.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, he did. He did a great job with them, and Tate had a great run there, and they got playing really well. They struggled a little bit this year at the beginning of the year, and I think when Christmas time rolled around, they got playing really well and went on a great run, and ran into a great team that they had to play in the state in the Riviera Prep, and but just to get there and the way he finished his career was great, and Coach Blicker does a great job, and not only does he do a great job, coaching the guys, but he does a great job promoting them, and he works tirelessly. He's always sending out video, always making videos, and there's not a lot of high school coaches that will do that, and I think that helped Tate a lot in his recruitment and what he's done for the guys in his program.
Yeah, 100%.
Ask him how do your son prepare for the game? Just because he's always like locked in and he's always one way. What is his preparation for the game?
Oh, he kind of he does his own stuff, I think. I don't know. To be honest with you, I never really bothered him with that. All I ever did was just text him, good luck today and make sure you play hard and go rebound. But I think they had one goal in mind this year. They wanted to get to state. And I think maybe at the beginning of the year, maybe they had a little bit too much pressure on themselves, and they were so caught up in that. And we had a little talk with him right before Christmas and said, let's forget about state right now. Let's just get back to playing the way you're capable of playing and doing the things that you're capable of doing. And then state will take care of itself. But I think he's very focused. I mean, he had a goal in mind, and his goal was to, take Santa Fe to state. And, there's a lot of people that said that, well, you should go here, you should go there, and you'll have an easier time getting to state. And he said, well, why can't I take Santa Fe to the state championship? And, that was, a great accomplishment. But, he was really locked in the state tournament. As a father, I was very proud, but I don't know how many guys have come through, especially from Polk County, and, did what he did in the 2 games in the state tournament.
Yeah, it was quite the performance. And you got to watch both, Coach, right? Which I know this year you missed quite a few games to your own schedule, but you were able to attend both those games, right?
Yeah, well, at the beginning of the year, I was complaining about our league schedule because we had the first week off and the last week off. So we had to play 20 straight games, but then when it came down to it, I'm sure glad they put it that way this year because I was able to see his state championship game. So that was a blessing. It would have been a tough decision if we were playing that day on what to do. Because you only get to see your kid play so many times, for a chance to win state, and you get a chance to coach a lot. But we were playing for a lot at the end of the year, so I'm glad I didn't have to make that decision. I had a couple players ask me towards the end of the year, what are you going to do if they play? And I said, well, we're lucky we don't play that Saturday.
Man,
I was just hoping the first round game wasn't going to be on Wednesday night.
Right.
yeah, Coach Dexter and Coach Peck were probably waiting for that text. I'm not showing up. I watched, I followed Santa Fe quite a bit this year and talked to Mike, and I text Mike after at the Mosaic shootout when Santa Fe came back and beat Evans. I said they're going to be at Lakeland, and I thought the team that my son was on at prep had a chance. It would have been cool if we would have got there, but when they beat Evans in that game in Mosaic, that was quite the performance. It was unbelievable, and so hats off. All right, so let's flip it to you. I know we like to talk about Tate. So you won a national championship 10 years ago. This year? Was it 14 or 15 you win?
15, yeah, 15. 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Last time UT made the tournament was 8 years ago?
No, it was 11 years ago, 13-14.
13-14. All right, so obviously going from Florida Southern to UT.
Yeah, a whole bunch of hate mail.
Whole bunch of hate mail. I would say those seniors, I know fairly well, from Jackson going to the camp. BB is an unbelievable kid off the court. He's awesome. They, coming over last year, I know you had high expectations of the team, but quite the accomplishment to do it. Just talk about the team a little bit this year, and then, I actually texted Justin this morning. And I said, this is the Alabama Huntsville you guys used to always play, right? And he said, yeah, but we haven't played them for a couple of years. But, I've watched them play, the last 3 or 4 years when you guys would do that home and home. So just let you talk about the team and then looking forward to your game Friday night, or is it Thursday? When do you guys?
Saturday. We play Saturday. Saturday at 2:30. But, what a great accomplishment for our guys, especially our seniors, to go out this way. We've been talking since we got here about wanting to compete at a high level and compete to, get in the NCAA tournament. And a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't talk about that stuff, but we did. And when we hit our, we started out great, and then unfortunately, B. Will took a charge. You always get on guy, step in, take a charge. Now I wish he wouldn't have taken the charge, but in our game against Crookston, and he got an elbow. And I thought he broke his nose. We didn't realize how severe it was, and actually had part of his nose ripped off. And I turned to him when we went to overtime, and I'm like, are you ready to get back in? And he's like, And then after the game, I find out they took him to the hospital, and he had a fractured orbital that had to have surgery. So he was out 6 weeks, and at the time, I thought we were playing unbelievable, playing really well as a team. And by losing him, that set us back, but we still played well. We went 4-5 in the time, and we lost 3 games. We lost the very first game back to Florida Southern on a shot at the buzzer. If we get the rebound, we win the game. They get the rebound, throw it out to Booth, who, of course, was 0 for 8 at the time. And you knew when he got the 9th shot, he was going to make it. And then he hits it. They beat us at the buzzer. And then we lose to Eckert at the buzzer. And then we go to Embry-Riddle, and now we're minus Trey Lane, our starting point guard. He got hurt, so now we go to Embry-Riddle with no point guard. And we actually ended up playing Peyton that game, who was playing really we don't have a number system, but would really be considered a 4-man in our system. We moved him to the point, and, it comes down to where we got the lead and got a chance to win the game, and we just didn't execute. And I think if we had B in those games, we would have won all 3 of those. And then we got him back, and, without practicing, which is a bad thing to say, he didn't practice for 6 weeks. He gets, released on a Wednesday, and we play him. And he gets 2-time player of the week. It's unbelievable. Always on guys, you got to practice hard. And he goes and gets 2-time player of the week. And then we hit a little rough spot. We got beat at Florida Southern in the game we should have won. And then we went down and we played Lynn and played awful. I did a terrible job coaching that day. And then we got beat by Nova and Rollins. And we were kind of thinking, I was kind of thinking, can we get this thing turned around? And we talked to our guys at the time, we can still reach our goals. We can still win the conference tournament. We can still go to the NCAA tournament. Those were goals you guys set at the beginning of the year. We can still reach those goals. But to do those, we have to play well. And the last 5 games, I thought we played really well. We made a change in our lineup. We moved Caden to a guard, and we inserted Ian, who's kind of the energy guy. And our defense really stepped up a notch. I think our last 7 games, I think we're giving up about 70, 72 points a game and scoring about 84. But he's been a big reason why we've played so well here, is that he's come in with some energy and effort. And we told him going into that game, I can't remember what game we were playing, but I think it was Eckert. We told him we have what we call play hard chart, everything but scoring. It's everything but scoring, because everybody gets caught up in scoring, and you got to do other things to win. And we have a play hard chart. And I said, I'm going with the top 5 guys on the play hard chart. That's who's starting this game, and we stuck with that lineup, and we've played extremely well. And hopefully Saturday we can play extremely well, because Huntsville's very, very good. They got a new coach, but they've got 5 fifth-year seniors, a 6-year senior, and a 4th-year junior. So they're playing with a bunch of 23, 24-year-olds this year, and that's why they're 30-1.
So, Coach, this is Chris Ward. Hey, with Brian Williams going down, does that prepare the other guys for this space that you're in? Do you feel that prepared them for the space, this run that you made in the year? I had a chance to see you play a couple games, about 2 or 3 games this year, and there is a big difference with him on the floor. But what about the other guys that had to come in and step up when he was out?
Well, yeah, I'm a little bit nuts sometimes on what I do and everything, but, we were playing so well when he went down, and we had a freshman that was our 6th man coming in, Ryan, and I didn't really want to insert him in the starting lineup, because I thought at the time when B first got hurt that he was just going to be out for 2 weeks, a week. And I wanted to keep Ryan in the position that he was in. And so we started another freshman, BJ, who hadn't played in a game or 2. And people were like, why would you start him? Well, one reason I started him is I wanted to get him in the game at the beginning instead of Trey Lane coming out and him going in. I wanted 2 guards in that could handle the ball, kind of take the pressure off him. I knew we were going to sub Ryan in 3 minutes into the game. He was going to come in for BJ. Because Ryan kind of came in for B. Will, after about 3 minutes, needs a break to start the game. So I wanted to keep our same rotation, and I thought it gave BJ an opportunity to play. And then Omarion really stepped up and played well. He hit a kind of a rough spot. We're hoping he's back out of it. Ryan played really well. You know, Tyson's been a force inside, you know, dominates the glass. I don't know how you can average 11 and a half rebounds and not be on the all-defensive team in league play. When you've had games where you've gotten 15, 16 defensive rebounds, I think that was a travesty for him. He should have been on the all-defensive team, but it gave other guys an opportunity to play, and I think it's helped us.
Agree. Well, ask you a couple of questions. I know you want to get to it. John, you got anything, or Joe?
Go to the list.
So, Coach, we were just talking about this on the show, and we'll ask you. How much credence or value do you give to the lists that are put out there? And, you know, there's what I call the social media list. What?
Local lists.
Local lists. So you got the social media lists, and then you got the other list that comes from the Tampa Bay Coach Association or the Polk Coach Association, and then the FACA. Do you look at any of those lists? Do any of them hold any weight with you? The ones that are voted on by coaches versus social media different? Do you think social media versus coaches is better? What's your feeling on those lists, and do you value them at all?
I mean, yeah, we value them. We look at them. You know, I think it all depends who's voting. You know, people that have played the game, understand the game, coaches that have coached the game. You know, we look at those. So there's some people out there that don't know anything, and they put out lists. But people that understand the game, play the game, have coached in the game. You know, I mean, I take a lot of value when a coach sends me a text about, hey, you guys ought to look at this player. He's playing really well. You know, and the big thing that, you know, as coaches we want is, you know, it's like we get emails every day. I mean, get an email from a kid that plays at a NAI school that's on the JV team, emailing us saying that he could play for us. You know, those you don't listen to. But like when a coach reaches out and says, you know, and I always say that to coaches, don't reach out on a guy that's not good enough. You know, reach out on guys that are good enough. But when a coach sends us a text, or, you know, I've had coaches send me, hey, these are the best players in our area. You know, you guys ought to take a look at them. You know, and it's getting harder and harder for high school kids. I mean, if all these rules get changed, I mean, who knows when a high school kid's going to ever be able to go to college and play. I mean, if they keep giving these guys extra years, and, you know, I see guys are, you know, saying that they're going to come back and play because they played Division II or NAI or D3 basketball. I mean, at some point, you just can't keep playing college basketball, I don't think.
Right.
Hey, Coach, this is back to you and your son. How you gonna work this thing out in college when he's at a university? How you gonna work that out, brother?
It's going to be tough. Hopefully they'll play some Sunday games and some Thursday games, but hopefully Chattanooga will play us in an exhibition game so I can get up there and see them. I'm putting a little plug in so on that one, but you know, hopefully you know, they'll see us. You know, we'll get a chance to play them, but it'll be tough. I mean, it was tough, you know, this year a few times for some reason. I don't know why Coach Blicker did it. He played a bunch of Wednesday games. You know, knowing that we play on Wednesday, he scheduled a bunch of Wednesday games. I called him when I got the schedule. I'm like, "You're playing?" He goes, "Do you want me to try to move some of them?" I was like, "No," but you know, so not only our family, but you know, Trey's brother plays with Santa Fe, and now Mom and Dad got to decide on Wednesday what game they're going to. But no, it was tough in high school when you missed them, and you know, it'll be tough in college. But you know, that's part of it.
Got it. All right, Coach. Well, good luck on Saturday. We'll watch. You got an elite camp coming up too, right? In a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we got one in April. In April, yeah. One in April, one in August, but April is our first one.
Got it.
An elite camp. What is that exactly?
Where kids can come in and you know and work out for us, and play for, you know, we'll do about a 4-hour camp where we do drills. I'm pretty hands-on in that camp. I'll get out there and do a drill session, run a station myself, for a chance for us to see some guys. We've actually we've actually taken guys that have come to our elite camp and they're on our team right now. So it is beneficial for kids that want to come here, that want to be seen, for them to come to our elite camp.
Right. And what is the date on that again?
Oh, I want to say the 15th, but it might be the 14th on.
It's that Sunday in April.
Yes.
April 14th or whatever. Yeah, it's that Sunday in April.
Okay.
Right.
All right, Coach. We'll go down there, get a couple wins, and I'll catch up with you guys next week when you get back.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Good luck,
coming
Coach.
on. Good luck.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You did that with Tyson, right?
What's that?
When you was coaching at
I
Hillsborough.
missed the game. I missed a couple of them.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. It's,
Yeah.
It's tough, bro.
Yeah.
I missed
Did
I
they-
missed a lot of games.
They ain't have the film like what we got
So
now.
what's crazy is
When you was in
I was
college.
coaching high school,
Yeah.
and he was playing high school.
Right.
I was missing games. So my wife bought me an Apple Watch.
That was when he was in college, though, right?
No, I was in high school. And I let it sit in the box. I was like, I'm not wearing this. So she was like, she was going to take it back. And then once we hit the playoffs, all the teams play together on the same night. Like, there's no separation now. So I was like, damn. She was like, yo, I'm going to take this watch back. I said, what does that watch do again? She said, it mimics your phone. I was like, so if you go to the game, you can text me the score. And so that's how we rocked it. So I had to, we playing. They playing at the same time. She texts me anytime he does something, texts me the score. These cats on my team think I'm cheering for their ass.
He's so stupid.
I ain't thinking about their ass. I'm
Right.
cheering for Tyson's ass. But it's really about asking because it's
That's
tough.
what made me
Well,
think
his
about
first
it.
3
That's
games
why I
he was
would never
playing
beat that ass.
was winning by 30 anyways. He didn't have to coach
So,
at first.
no, it's tough. Or even like we're playing the regional finals.
They played. Yeah.
And then they're playing. Luckily, they played the next night, so I got to go see it.
Hey, Coach Mike Blitcher said, offer job by me. Come on, dog.
Yeah, but that's tough. Even in college, when I was at Hillsborough, he went to North Dakota State. It was tough, bro. You talk about going home, missing games. You don't get to see it. There ain't no replay.
They didn't have them on the internet.
Yeah, but we played. If we had an 8 o'clock game, they had an 8 o'clock game.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
So going back to these lists, TJ. So do you think that some of these lists are made? It has a bit of delusion. Like some people are delusional.
Very much delusional.
Do you think delusion is bad?
It could be good or bad because sometimes delusional could get you to the next level. But the delusional that the coach has, that he's applying on the player, is hurting the player. Well, and what I mean by that, so you say, okay, this kid is this, but we know when we saw this kid, he wasn't that.
So does it build? And I'm playing devil's advocate.
Like, be honest with, build confidence,
Right.
but be honest at the same
Build
time.
confidence, build delusion. Because it was in West Tampa, there was a dude named Tiger that we used to call Tiger.
With the bicycle. Yeah.
Instead of the
Have the
bicycle, have shit
ball.
all over the bicycle.
Yeah. He
And-
could flip too.
That's what I was about to say.
Who you
So
talking about, the dude from West Tampa?
Yeah,
Tiger-
that's
Tiger.
Tiger.
Yeah.
Tiger was athletic as hell. He could stand there and do just off vert, do a straight double tuck. You know what I mean?
Damn.
But he had delusion. Like, he was like delusional where he was like, thought he was nice. Like, you know what I mean? And, because I remember when I came home, this is 96 poke Joe that, pogo stick, and so he called me out to play one-on-one. He was fooling around with treating him, like, you know what I mean? But he called me out. So
You played Tiger, bro.
but Tiger hit some shit because he's so damn delusional. And like he's shooting from back here. I don't play with some guys that was delusional and they'll hit certain shots and do certain things because they so delusional. Like they were
Dog, I feel like you're telling a story from a butter end. Damn shame what happened to
Nutso. Nutso. But I'm gonna tell you about delusion though and what it could get you.
Tell him what we was.
There was a time, man, where I was with Chris Ward. And I thought he was fucking delusional. One of the most delusional things I ever heard. We gonna buy the old Stardust skating rink, and I'm gonna turn it into a facility with multiple courts, classrooms, place where kids could make music and have make video games and all. And I was listening to it, yeah, man. And as soon as Chris turned his head, I said, man, that motherfucker delusional. I said, he sound crazy.
So is that fake or delusion?
Bro,
That's what I'm saying.
it was delusion. But you gotta
We
have,
have a pot to piss in.
right, bro, like,
Still don't.
What made you think about this? What made you think about this place though?
We saw this place in 2005.
yeah,
We used to ride by every single day.
yeah, he would drive by it all the time. I said, that delusional motherfucker driving by this delusional ass driving by this skating rink again. Yeah, a long time, bro.
I was in your program. Yeah.
We would ride by this. Like years ago when they were selling Christmas trees out this thing.
I called, what's up, man? Oh, no, I just rolled by the skate. I said, man, you delusional. Stop shit. Play that Will Smith video. So you got the Will Smith video?
Damn,
Play that for
me. The flip.
But look, I mean,
There's a certain
sometimes
amount
delusion.
of delusion that is necessary to achieve things that haven't been achieved before. You have to be, quote unquote, insane. If you're going to attempt something that no one's ever done before, that's almost the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of deluded naivete that is necessary to manifest things that have not been manifest. This is a thought universe. And there's a Confucius quote I love. He says, "He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right." The idea that what you think and what you believe is the first step to manifestation. You can't create it if you can't see it in your mind. If you can't believe it, you can't bring it out of the quantum field into this 3D reality. If you don't believe it, you have to have a certain deluded certainty in your magical abilities.
Yep.
So
And,
what was the work ethic? So
right.
that's why
I mean,
forget about
you gotta have that.
You gotta have. So it's,
That's why that was in the name when we sat down in the middle of the floor in 2006 when we were writing the damn 501c3.
C3, yep.
what? Okay.
We named it the Skill Center.
Now this why I love the skill center, right? And it's kind of gonna correlate what Joe talking about. It's delusional, but tell us about the work ethic behind that. You and John, just what y'all had to go through to get this. So when we got these other organizations, right? When we got these other organizations that just do it for the basketball, but right.
We've been doing this for how long, TJ? You were part of.
I was 14. I'm 40.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
we've been doing this. So we're in a space where you have to be okay with the give and not the receive. Like, so this is the give. Like, we don't own the Skill Center. But don't get it twisted. We're a not-for-profit, so we don't own the Skill Center. We have to be okay with, we're the co-founders. Like, you can't own a not-for-profit.
I have a board.
Our board can vote our ass up out of here. All we can do is be the co-founders of the Skill Center. Like, we carry no weight with that. And so you have to be okay with the give. Like, and we're okay with the give. We didn't do this for ourselves.
What was the work ethic though?
Oh, bro, this is pissed off households. This is sleeping on the couch. This is uncomfortable. This is time away from your child, time away from your own family. This is you being a father figure to other people's kids more than you are sometimes to your own. Like, so this is a give. Like, and it's okay to give when you don't think about, like, I don't need a thank you.
Right.
Like, that's not why I gave a gift. I'm not giving a gift to get something in return. I'm giving it because it's the right thing. And we saw a need, and we still see a need. And we got good people around us, and so that's how you build on it. If it wasn't for having good people around us and believing us, I'll give you a perfect example. You're still here.
Yeah.
Joe is still here. JoJo Fowler is one of the top players. He can go anywhere he wants, and he's still here. Like, we created an environment of good people to where even when your son walk out of here, he sees nothing but good people. Like, as soon as you walked in, what TJ did, had his hand out, dapping you up. What's up? What's up? Like,
He just be trying to show how strong he is.
but I'm just saying, like, so that's just a sign of a good. How does your kid feel when they come in the building? Like, they feel like this is theirs. Like, they see the kids in here, and the kids run up to them. I saw PJ running up to all of them because that was JoJo and TJ. That was them running up to Tyson and you know, DJ and all them kids. That was them running up to them. So now they have the kids. That's what we wanted to create.
I mean, it's and that's what it is, like a brotherhood. Like I met Chris in 2002, but it was always a brotherhood. He introduced me to Joe and everybody else, all the basketball guys. But the other night, I had to be here. I'm like, yo, how do I get Junior home? Well, shit, JoJo drive now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like.
So a community of.
Right. We ain't got to worry. Was I worried that Junior was going home with JoJo and Jason? Nah. But at the end of the day, that's what you want to create. This is bigger than the game. It's way bigger than the game, and that's why I think it works.
Yep.
I would.
Go ahead.
Two things on this. Funny you said that. Jackson just got his license, and last week,
Right.
he was like, I was like, hey, you got to go get Junior.
Yep.
And it was the completely other way.
Yep.
And Jackson's like, I'll go and get him. And then he got on the next day brotherhood. And then there was you probably even know it, but there's Dylan Costello played with us at Plant. He was a bad mother.
Yeah.
And
The ass kicker.
he
That's
was
what they call
he
it.
literally kicked the shit out. And his younger brother is a freshman at Plant now, and the mom, Jessica's amazing. And she missed the opportunity for Matt to do travel. So Matt's been here a couple weeks. Jessica sits all the way at the end. And she looked at me today when I was there. She goes, I know why you brought Jackson here a long time ago. Just like the energy. You know, Matt's not a all-star basketball player. He loves being in the gym. He
works his ass
works. But being around the kids, she's like, I know why you came here in third grade. It's about the family. Like, you know, like basketball is one part of it. You know, everything else around it is bigger than basketball. You know,
And
bigger than basketball.
that's what keep me around.
So
The relationships.
Yeah, we had that conversation.
And I'll let you coach in flip-flops.
We had that conversation where we had someone really bad-mouthing the organization. And they said they didn't know that we created or that kids were created in that space that are playing college ball or that are successful in the space of basketball right now. It's not a thing of being successful in the space of basketball. We have people in success in life. Like, you know, if you want to go, and I started going through the resume, and he was like, yo, I ain't know that. It's not for me to be out there bragging about it. Right. That's come on, man. That's not why we do it.
Right.
Like, it's not for us to go out and say what we did. It's for us to come in and impact these kids and make sure that they have all the resources to get to where they want to go. That's it. And if they fall short, we're there, right there, holding them up. I received this last night, and I'll share this. And, you know, I usually, it's not about what you do or why you do it, but this is it. I went to see Sam. Me and my wife flew up to see Santia play. He played in the Sun Belt semifinals last night. He sent me this. He said, I want to say thank you to the both of you. Your support meant the world to me through these years, and I love you guys. I'm blessed to have you both in my life, and I truly appreciate you being a role model that I needed growing up. I don't know where I'd be right now if it weren't for you and Miss Annalise.
That's what it's about.
But it's worth more than anything.
And I said, bro, this is just the start. Like, you have your German passport, you're going to be playing in Europe somewhere next year, and guess what? I'm going to have my ass right there.
Right.
It's the support system, man. It's the resources.
Right.
And that would be for any kid.
Right.
Your kid,
Of course.
your kid, like any kid. That's the whole point of doing this, man.
Yeah.
And think about it. When you pull up here, we're in the middle of East Tampa.
Yeah, we
And Dave White ass
Yeah.
sitting right here at 10 o'clock
ain't right.
at night.
Ain't nobody gonna mess with them.
38 hot.
Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Nah, Stokely, you I saw you put something in the chat, but talk to us. You talked about delusion with your kid. Yeah.
Come on, Stoke.
I mean, you know, when my son last summer said that he wanted to moved to San Diego, I thought he was delusional. Like, this kid basically trashed his grades, trashed his opportunity while he was over here at an NIA school at Weber. And I really thought that it was a good play for him to just stay at home and then recalibrate. But a coach reached out to him, didn't make any promises, told him, look, if you work hard and you get your grades back up, you'll have a shot of playing for me the following year. So, right off rip, it was like this coach was not making him any promises, but told him, look, if you work hard enough, you'll get a shot. I guarantee you that. And sure enough, I was hesitant as a dad, like as a father, you're sending your son like clear across the country with no place to live, and now he has to fend for himself. He has to work. He has to find his own transportation to go to school and all this other stuff. And I really thought that this kid was freaking maniacal, delusional, whatever the case. I thought he was crazy. But I'm seeing this kid, the growth in this kid. He reached a couple weeks ago. He reached out. He's like, Dad, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm applying to all these jobs. Help me. Normally he wouldn't do that. And I was really surprised. So I helped him out, got his resume together, and sure enough, he was able to secure a job with the school. So now he has a work-study program, and along with that, he's still working his Dollar Tree job that's only giving him 8 hours a week. So he's got that. He's doubling up his money, and he's making connections over there in San Diego. And at the end of the day, this kid is all about hooping. The only thing this kid talks about is hooping. I try to get it out of, hey, dog, you got a girlfriend? You got a social life? No. His social life are his roommates, his teammates, and that's it. He go to school, he go to work, and he go play ball. That is it. So I'm praying that, this will be kind of like a Chris Ward type skill-centered situation to where he knows his vision. The kid knows his vision, and there's nobody telling him any different. So, kudos to him, and I respect him as a dad, like, for real. Like, you're doing your thing, you're doing what you feel, you got to do for you, and you're not letting anybody, even us as his parents, stray him away from what he feels he's got to do for him.
Yep, because and you make a great point, because the delusion doesn't work without the work ethic. And another one that I saw, and this was years ago, and Dre was with me at the time, we were together, and Antonio Tarver. He had just got to fight Roy Jones. And I never forget, we was out in front of Club 112 that night, and he was an unknown, nobody knew him. And he was like, yeah, man, I'm about to fight Roy Jones, man. I just got to fight Roy Jones. And, Dre, old jerk, you think he's funny now? He definitely thought he was a comedian back then. And he gonna look at me and talk about, good luck. Good luck with that.
Well, he hit the look right on the head.
Because Jerry usually sit here, and he was like, good luck, whatever. And Tarver was like, yeah, man, y'all can come to Vegas with me. Y'all can walk to the ring with me and this and that and the other and all. And I was like, man, I ain't doing all that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Team Roy. You know what I mean? That's one of my favorite guys. But he took his delusional ass in there and
caught him.
No, not that time.
Oh, the second time.
He took his delusional ass in there and fought Roy tough, and a lot of people thought he won that first fight. And I was like, damn, this delusional motherfucker don't win in there. And then he fought him the next time here in Tampa. And we went to the fight.
Ain't that the one that he said, you got any excuses tonight,
What's
Roy?
the excuse tonight, Roy? I was mad as hell when he said it. And he knocked me out.
He caught him.
I was there too.
So both of y'all.
Yeah, I was there.
All right, so last thing, I ain't
My
gonna.
point guard for 2 years.
Oh.
At
Well,
USBL.
Well, I mean, last thing, and I'm gonna leave it as this. So everybody could agree, just pretty much we all delusional, right?
I don't have the delusion.
I just
That's
lie
why-
all the time.
I wish I did.
No, but no, hold up. No, I'm finna point it out for a reason, because that's why I don't take nothing personal. Like, I put something out there, I really don't even be mad. But everybody else do it, so sometimes I'm gonna do it to get spotlight on our guys. But I could say, I think people it makes sense. Being delusional, everybody's delusional. So even the organizations, the big county, Bay Hoops, whatever. I don't know what's the name of it. XBC, let's just be real. XBC, that's a good organization. But somewhat we have to be like, okay, we understand where the delusional coming from, because we all got it a little bit. But I like that Joe has the delusional, even with when people done told him don't post my kids, don't do this. He don't, not saying he would keep doing it, but he don't stop, and the work ethic to just get these kids out
here. Tell me don't post their kid.
Well, no, I'm not talking about them, but you get what I'm saying.
That goes for anybody who. If you don't want me to do video of your kids, say the word.
But I'm saying I'm not talking about.
I do.
You don't
he
let
just
them
don't do it
for all the other kids.
Hey, I do. He just don't do it.
Hold on. I ain't never seen a junior. Yeah,
I did one junior.
But what I'm saying, it didn't mess it up for all the other kids.
Oh, right.
Because I know my child benefited from that. Like, and so that work ethic, just having, okay, that is kind of delusional, Joe.
So I'll give you this, TJ.
You don't think so?
I'm gonna say
I don't
this.
think so. I wish I did have that delusion, bro. I think I would be further in life. Go ahead. My bad.
I like the underdog.
Okay, me too.
I like the space of being uncomfortable. I love uncomfortable conversation. I thrive for that shit.
Right.
You know, I just always like it. Why? Because I think that makes you work hard, and I think that's the way that you grow. Mm-hmm. Right? You're not getting the spotlight. You're not getting the love. Like, that should give you that fire that you need, like, to prove people, well, you say prove me right or prove me wrong.
Right.
You know, so, you know, John was Tyson's biggest fan. Like, I'm talking about, he was like, I'm like, I don't know what the hell you seeing. Like, he was his biggest fan. So that year he got in, his going into his senior year, I think they had him 71.
In the state?
71. So I printed that list off, and I put it on his wall. I said, every month you see, you tap that ass, you scratch it off. And so that was his motivation, scratching it off, because he said, I don't get no love. Still to this day, he says, Dad, I don't get no love. See, some kids, if you don't prepare them like that, once they get the love, they don't know how to accept it. They don't know how to benefit from them, because all they know is I don't get no love. I don't get no love. If you keep your child in a space of being uncomfortable and thriving in a space of uncomfortability, once they get that love, they know how to work with it. They know how to accept it. They know how to grow from it, because they come from a space of uncomfortable. Right? So always love to be the underdog, man. You don't need nobody talking about you. Here's one thing. People that know the game, Coach Don has said it. People that know the game gonna give you your love. They're gonna see your worth. They're gonna see your value. That's all you need to know. The mother jackasses out there writing that bullshit and doing it.
Yeah.
How many of them played?
Yeah. And they bad.
He just said it.
And they bad.
How many of them played?
Not necessarily picking. Some of them say they played because they played high school. How many of them played on the level where your son is going?
None.
Right. And see, that's my thing.
Right.
See, I don't have that delusion because I was on track to have a facility probably a few years before this one was built. I had the CAD drawn. I had a great plan. I ain't gonna tell my whole plan. I probably done told y'all some of my ideas and stuff like that. But I had everything lined up. But then my homeboy was like, "Hey man, we about to do this FTG thing, whatever." And so I just dropped my whole plan. Like, let me help them get this going. You know what I mean? And and that's why I don't have a delusion, because what I should have been like is, my shit is going to be greater than that. You know what I mean? That's what a delusion, that's why I'm saying I don't have it.
You don't know we was in Plant City, dog, looking for land.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was looking for land, all that, bro. Like, I was
What about the one we looked at on 50th? Is that 50th?
The big old building right there.
I drive by it every day.
It's still there, bro.
It's still there.
It's still there. And I think about it all the time, but I don't have that delusion, because you can put a whole amateur work in that, like, to the 10th power with basketball courts, all kind of stuff. It's huge, but
on Cypress by UT that you went at?
Nah, I'm sure this is bigger than that.
The one where the old boys and girls where we were at. That's Shillog, I looked at
Yeah.
that one.
But see, I don't have that. I don't have that. Like when we got ready to play Georgetown when I was at St. Leo, we came in, we was 15-1. Georgetown was 6-9. And they put in the paper that Georgetown St. Leo comes in with a better record than Georgetown. And I'm coming in like, man, we finna get our ass kicked. You know what I mean? But JoJo would go in there and be like, we about to beat them. Like, he don't never think he about to lose. I mean, he got a little bit of delusion. Like, and I used to say it was confidence, but now I'm starting to see that it's a bit of delusion. I didn't have that. You know what I mean?
You gotta be an asshole to be successful.
But it don't mean I wouldn't go. But see, this is my thing. Like, let's say like Mike Tyson walk up and slap Tasha on the ass, and I'm younger Mike Tyson, not Tyson now.
Tyson now.
I'm talking about younger, 38-year-old Tyson, 35-year-old Tyson. Let's say he go and slap Tasha's ass, and I would be like, man, Mike finna whoop my ass, but I'm finna go in here. He gonna have to whoop it. You know what I mean?
Worry about that because Tasha gonna fight his ass.
Which is true. But I'm just saying, like,
I did train him.
so, but I was, but see, I was a fighter, but I'm going in thinking like, man, Georgetown about to beat us. But that don't mean I went out there and battled.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But did that make you uncomfortable thinking that?
No, it's just how I was always wired. I never had that, bro. And I think that's kind of like, even with me, when I committed to Alabama, out of JUCO. So out of high school, me and Carl Thomas committed to College of Charleston, right? So I didn't score high for SAT, so I had to go JUCO. I went to JUCO, blew up even more. So now I went from having College of Charleston, USF, UCF, to having Seton Hall, Syracuse, Alabama, Clemson. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So I committed to Alabama. Dropped the math class, didn't tell my coach. Now I'm ineligible because you could only take 2 classes in the summer. I needed 3 because my whole thing is, man, I don't know if I got a D or F in this algebra. I'm about to drop this, and I can just 3 classes in the summer, I can knock that out. But you could only take 2 in the summer to transfer Division I. You can take 3 and go D2 or anywhere else. So I made myself ineligible by doing that. I didn't consult with an advisor, coach, and then I just dropped the class. You know what I mean? So the Alabama coach came, flew down here. I still got the handwritten letter. He met with me, and he came up with a plan. Coach Marlin, he coached at University of New Orleans now, or Raging Cajuns, I think. He was the coach at. I think he's in the admin or something now. But he was like, we came up with a plan that I was going to stay home, go to HCC until Christmas time, take those 3 classes, go to Alabama after that, be a student, and then that next year, I get to work out with the team, all that, kind of like what KJ is doing now. You know what I mean? Just same thing KJ is doing. Student, get to live, work out with the team and all of that, and then I can go 2 years to Alabama. If I had what Brandon Stokely has, I would have did that. Played in the Riverfront League, got my ass kicked by the meat hook, Demetri Hill, tore my ass up, gave me like 40. I sat in my car in front of the house. I'm like, man, I ain't even good enough to play at Alabama. This is my whole thought process. I ain't even good enough to go play at Alabama. You know what I mean? So called the Coach Cobb at St. Leo. He came to the next Riverfront game, and CT'd him like, man, what you doing? I signed the papers right there. That's how I ended up at St. Leo. Didn't go to Alabama because I didn't have that delusion. You know what I mean? I just never had it. And you know, and it's a fork in the road. So I think everything happened for a reason. I think me going through that and that happening to me was now I know what to do with these
Joe.
Right. Yeah. And
well, with other kids too, because you give a lot of help with.
Well, even with my nephews, my nephew Adonis and all of them, like I knew, I saw where I went wrong. I saw why my path, that fork in the road that I took. You know, I saw where I went wrong. So I knew I had nephews that was going to be playing. So I was like studying. I'm watching every year who's going to school, what they doing, who's from the county around here, thinking about the guys when I played. So even with my nephew, Adonis, he was at Carrollwood Day. He was the man at Carrollwood Day. He had Stetson, Jacksonville, schools like that, mid-majors. He's training with Chris, very skilled, but I felt like he was lazy. I felt like he wasn't being pushed at the school that he was at because he shows up, he's the big man on campus. So I'm like, Osmar Christian at the time had Jordan Fair, who was running a hell of a program, bringing teams in from all over the country, you know what I mean, playing smoke, bringing guys in from everywhere. And I was like, he needs to go there so he would know what it is to have to fight for a position, fight for it, because when he go to college, he's going to have to fight for it. He can't just show up and be this guy that he was going to be. But I'm thinking that my nephew's a fighter like me. So he went there. he was taken out of his situation, away from where his girlfriend was, all that stuff, going to this school. He didn't really like it. He didn't fight for it. He rebelled, and he just never really panned out. So now, fast forward, I got my son, and those of you who've been around, I was never one of them coaches that was like, oh, my son played that position. I can't take this kid. Oh no, he can play. He good. Bring him. So now, boom, he's starting over my kid. Now you go fight for it. If you want to play, you go fight. So he knew what it was to fight, because I know that's what it's going to take. And I know if he's anything like his dad, he going to fight. But he has a bit of delusion in him where he thinks he can always win. You know what I mean? So, and I know I went kind of long in saying that.
It was needed. It was needed.
Yeah, but
Kids call it now? Aura? Is that the churches go to?
well, I don't know if it's aura, but that motherfucker, he a little delusion. He a little delusion.
Tick different.
In order to get to the next space, you have to be different. Like you can't be the same. Remember, 1%.
Yeah.
We talk about 1%. Like in order to be a Division I college back, we were talking about this. 1% Division I, 1% Division II, 1.4 Division III.
Right.
So that's 3.4%.
Yeah, and I know, like, because Chris say it all the time. Them ain't my kids. My boy Tree, he like Tree, and getting this advice from Tree, I was kind of like taken back, like, Tree, yo, dumb man, you know what I mean? But Tree was like, because I was just talking to him, like, Tree's like my brother. You know, we grew up together from when we was kids, and I was talking to him about the kids that I was coaching and stuff. Like, every kid that I saw. Okay, I'm gonna look at your parents. Okay, you're gonna probably be about this size. This is what you need to be to get to the next level. This is what the plan gonna be. We need the team XYZ up with XYZ up and kind of funnel them to these. Like, they was in second, third grade. I had these plans for these kids and stuff like that. But it just didn't work out with the parents and stuff like that in situations. But I just and I was putting a lot of research in. I remember I was telling Tree about it and stuff like that. And when things were starting to, go certain ways, and I remember Tree was like, Joe, like, them ain't your kids, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, Tree telling me that? You know what I mean? But,
right.
Yeah, but I just feel like I could look at like, I know what Jacob Douglas has to be and what he has to do. I know what JT, and I tell him all, like, you got to be a certain guy, especially when you're a smaller guard or you this or you that, you got to play a certain way and have a certain mentality. But I don't know, man. But I'm ranting at this point.
No, it's all good. You're right. I just feel you got to be able to guard. Everybody say D1. If you can't guard it,
Listen, just play.
Right.
And have fun. And
Right.
Let everything work its way out. If you're good enough, they'll see you. That's all that matters. If you're good enough, you can play.
You got to get out there. You got to get in front of them. Yeah, you got to play.
You got to enjoy this shit, bro.
Yeah,
you got to really, really enjoy the space. So you got to be a little delusional to enjoy the space.
Yeah.
Because what you see in practice here, you're not going to see it.
But you got to be delusional and realistic.
Yeah.
You can't be delusional and be on that bullshit.
I don't think y'all.
That's what he
I
talking
don't
about.
think y'all was realistic about building this, bro. I did not. I did
I'm
not
gonna
think
be honest with you. Still today, I don't be like, how the hell did we do this?
I said it all the time. I was like, these delusional motherfuckers pulled
But
it
the
off.
only thing I would say is, he always believed in it. I always believed in me, meaning I be at the gym all day long with these kids running the leagues and trying to build something and not going away from what people said. That's a dumb rule. That's a slave rule. That's this. No, I stayed true to me and what I believed in or how I was raised. So maybe that's delusional because I didn't change. A lot of people conform to other people saying, you should do this. I'm going to give you this money so you can do that. Well, I ain't take that money. You see what I'm saying? So I think it was just a good mix. Yeah, we was definitely different. We still different. People still hate us, but they got to go pay to practice.
Yeah. And that's all I was trying to point out.
I know. I know what you're trying to point out.
The delusional part. Like, I feel like everybody within the system is delusional to some point, but if we all could respect everybody being delusional, we could be okay.
Man, listen. If we could get everybody to the table and come up with a list,
Man.
Man,
I've been said
No,
that.
I'm saying, like,
Not only come up with a list, come up with a team. With teams.
But you still don't come up with a list. Like, everybody goes to the table and you go and you put a list out there, and then you go out and you use your resources to help that kid.
Right.
If I know I don't have it, like if I know I don't have a kid that can play at that next level, why am I not helping the next kid? Why?
Right.
Like we'll do it all the time.
And that's what I was going at.
That's not a story that you have to go out and say, yeah, I help this kid. Yeah, I help this kid. No, I don't have to do that. That's not for you to know.
Yeah, I helped a whole bunch of them.
Right.
You don't never hear me say.
No, it's no point in doing that. That's not why you do it.
Right.
You know, so if we could come and you talking about you have this team playing over here, you got this team playing Adidas, you got this team playing Nike, Puma, and you got coaches out there recruiting. If you don't have it,
I know somebody who do
I know
that.
somebody, right.
Right here, right? They right here.
Right.
And why not? But we don't do that. That's not what we do.
But we don't even support. Like for instance, when Blake was going last year, I think about three Blake shirts that Darryl was selling. You know, and then after the game, I was like, all right, you know, Junior going to Jesuit. I don't need this Blake shit no more. However, as soon as Jesuit lost this year and we knew Blake was going, I made a post and be like, look, you ain't got to go to this school, you ain't got to like, but they are Tampa Bay. So why not? You know what I'm saying?
We showed up at Gibbs, though.
I swear to God we did. Absolutely.
Tampa came.
It did not look like it was all St. Pete.
I don't know who they was rooting for, but
Right.
they did show
Yeah, they
up.
came.
I was proud, bro.
But that's how it should be.
It should be. I was
And it
proud.
was legends. It was
Yeah.
like people like
I
like
walked in
back in the day.
Look, I walked in late, and there was no seats, right?
Yeah.
But then, and I keep forgetting his name, but a cat that was in the mix of the crowd, he waving, yo, I got you. I said, I need two. Walked up there. While I'm sitting with him, I got freaking texting Dave Lamar. He won all the scores. You know what I'm saying? But that's like, you probably don't even know. But that's the support you need to support these kids.
was
But
that
that
a
crowd
win?
was not, huh?
Was that a win for Tampa? We
I
lost.
think
but that
it
was a
was
win for us.
because
I think it was.
I tried to find a win in everything.
I think it was.
It was great. It
That
was
was a
great,
win.
bro. It was good because like, and I don't know if you and TJ experienced it, but me and JoJo was going places and people's walking up like, man, I was at the game, man. Like y'all, like I was like, damn, like we got that like so many times where I was like, dang, I ain't see none of these people at the game, man.
And I think I sat on the wrong side. Was I supposed to sit behind the bench?
Man,
Because I seen y'all on the other side.
I sat on the other side for my reasons, but this was the first year TJ kind of got that glimpse of where you know everybody knew him from the workout kid, right? The 4 a.m. workouts and the little stuff we do. But when he got to play, it was my old school at that. But what is the word when it just get bigger? It matched mine. Like,
oh yeah.
It was now that was good.
But that's how a basketball atmosphere is supposed to be.
Brandon
You know what I'm
Robinson.
saying?
That's all my high school. All my big high school games was like that. That's what it felt. That's what my uncles said. They all came. Unfortunately, I had one of my uncles pass away, but just like you said, found a positive and everything. I had my uncle Wadey, all of them, all the folks from Alabama. They all came. They was all down here, and they was all at the game with their country ass. They was there though. You know what I mean?
I had one down the stairs. The one.
Yeah,
I like him.
Yeah, so they.
Television used to shut down for Southeast.
No, but it was just good, you know, that you saw, like, you wanted the support there. Because you know Gibbs was going to have the support there.
Right.
So it's like, yo, y'all got to show out. Y'all got to show out. Now,
It felt like it was even, bro.
To
Like,
me,
I'll
it
be honest
was.
with you, it felt like it was an even crowd. And I was like, I just felt like, man, we going behind in hostile territory. And it wasn't, bro. It was
Nah, it
like,
was not.
It was just like,
It was
yeah.
not. I was in the mix with Gibbs.
Listen.
Here's one thing that you got to understand about St. Pete. They gonna talk. They gonna talk. But after, if it's a good game, they gonna dap you up and they gonna remember that forever.
Right.
It's gonna be like that forever. That's all. I mean, it's always good blood over there. Blood, man.
No, but that's how it should be. And of course, like you said, there was some people cheering against, you know, Blake or whatever. But it is what it is. You're always gonna get stuff like that.
Who called? St. Pete called and tried to get a kid over here with us.
Oh, you talking about Lakewood?
There you go.
Yeah.
He called and said, "I want to be with y'all."
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And you mentioned that about Gibbs. I watched all the state championship games, and after the game, most of the team, it's my biggest pet peeve. Like when you play in an event you go to and you're invited, like when kids like leave with their backpacks and don't wait for it bothers me, especially when Eventos does it. And Gibbs, they won. I watch everything. They went and that Coach Murphy, had the kids stand there. They watched every kid get the award.
Yeah.
He stood there and walked out the court. The other teams went in the locker room. They were throwing their stuff in they went and watched.
Gibbs, and see, and I was on.
Murph does a great job.
I was on the podcast yesterday, talking a little bit and chirping with them guys, and Tuma was giving me a hard time, like, yeah, y'all still ain't beat, whatever. But I was telling him, I said, man, like that coaching staff over there is top notch.
Yep.
They got like 5 or 6 guys.
Yep.
They're in unison. They look the part. They dress the part. It's a program.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think
from the JV to, because my
Correct.
man Spivey do the JV joint.
Correct.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the difference in that game was they have a program that has been established for years, and to me that's where it was won at, because the preparation. Like, I don't know if y'all remember when they played in Fall League.
Yeah,
and I was saying, bro, they had playoff ready right now. Like, how much better can they get? Like, they can't get. There's nothing they go get better, and this and that and the other. And I'll be a monkey's uncle. But when they showed up, by the time I seen them, I hadn't seen them all year in person. By the time Blake played them at Sun Bash, their bodies had changed. You can tell they had been in the weight room, and the guys that couldn't shoot, they all could shoot. The whole team could shoot, and I was like. And Bobby Crawford was way more explosive. Like, you can see his
10.
11.
He improved the most, I think, from last year to this year.
He was very explosive, and and I was like, man, they got better. Like they
that coaching
better.
staff, I think the main thing what Joe said, and they hold all them accountable.
Oh, yes, they do.
From 1
They don't
through
mess around.
12.
I've only
Yep.
So that
only been in
was the
one
biggest
huddle this
thing.
year, so I can't talk in any other school. So I'm not saying, but in the Sun Bash, we sat like batting corner with your bench.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it again. I only sat in one huddle this year. I'm literally not taking a shot, but all of us looked at each other. I remember they called the timeout because I think Josh just did a dunk. And they came down and MJ hit a 3, and they called the timeout. And in that timeout, Murph looked at Chris, didn't say a word, was laughing, and those players were going in on each other.
Yep.
And the other kid just stood there and took it like a man. And when I say going in on him,
Kids were
like,
holding each other
Correct.
going
that's the
in on
difference.
him, like.
Oh yeah.
And that's culture that's been
That
built.
was crazy.
That's culture.
Right.
The kids. Who was here for the sneaker ball?
Oh, Delancey.
Had a good time.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Man, look, ain't no bad blood.
Yeah, no, we talk all the time.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just
it's-
saying,
yeah,
it's just like these dudes, they want to see
His
everybody.
kid's pretty good, too.
That's the cool thing. They want to see everybody win. And I just wish that it was the same thing
Over here.
for us.
Yeah, it is.
You know, one thing I used to say when I was at Hillsborough, because, it was the same thing. They said, our kids, we ain't getting no love. I'm like, man, listen, all I want to do is be the last team playing in this county. Then they got to come see you. They ain't got nowhere else to go. I used to say that every single
I remember that.
And we
I remember
came
you
to see
said
too.
that.
All I want to do is be the last team in this county playing, and they got to come see you, bro. So just make sure you go into that space. If you're the last team, where they going to go if they want to see some basketball? And so that's how you have to have your kids thinking, like, don't rank me now. Shit, rank me later.
All right, we all went hella long, so we got to end this with the Mr. T. So I got this Mr. T clip.
Been it the fool.
The first one is for the players. The second one is for, some of the guys that I think TJ talking about, and the third one is for the coaches. I think. I think that's how it goes. It's Mr.
And
T.
you think somebody gonna hand you something for nothing? You're wrong too. Heaven talent is just the beginning. It takes education, dedication, and determination to be a success. If you work real hard, you can become the best that you can be. And that's a promise from me, Mr. T. There's nothing wrong with wanting to love somebody, but jealousy doesn't come from love. It comes from feeling unsure of yourself and being afraid of getting hurt. When you really love somebody, you trust them, and you don't go around prying to parts of their lives that don't concern you. That leads to a bad scene. Take it from me, Mr. T. There comes a time when you got to make up your own mind. You got to do what's right, and what's right for you. It sounds easy, don't it? But it ain't. Making your own decision is part of growing up. It's tough, because you learn there's more than one way to go. So think hard. Make the best choice you can. If you respect your decision, so will everyone else, especially me, Mr. T.
My man, Mr. T, baby.
I pity the fool.
That's the final word.
Final word. I pity the fool.
That's so 80s.
Take us out.
Welcome to the weekly podcast that keeps it